Hey, what's going on, screen printers? Ryan here with Texsource. We're doing a continuation of this oddball printing series. We're doing different types of garments for Christmas time, but it lends a hand for birthdays and pretty much any time for a screen printer. It's for you guys to learn something new, so we're trying to teach you how to print on oddball garments. Like we did yesterday, we printed on this nice dry duck bag, which turned out really nice, so we have a video previous to this one to show you guys. Coming up after this video series, we'll be printing on the Carhartt jackets, and you can see beside me we have golf towels and nice jackets, fleece hoodies, that sort of thing. We're going to teach you guys how to print on because it's not normal everyday items that a screen printer will do, like a t-shirt or hoodie. So this video series, we're going to teach you guys how to print on yoga pants. This is something that myself and Mike and a few other guys went through our vendor website, which is Carolina Made, which is you also have Samar or Order ACC. But these guys, we went through the website and chose really oddball items that people don't normally print on, and yoga pants is one of those selections. So this video is going to teach you guys how to print on yoga pants. First off, yoga pants are really stretchy. So you got to make sure you have the proper ink to print on really stretchy fabric. And Texsource recommends printing with silicone ink. Silicone truly is going to outwithstand this garment. I could just rip this garment apart if I wanted to, and that printed ink, that printed silicone, will not distort at all. So we're going to teach you guys how to print on yoga pants on this sleeve palette using silicone ink. So throughout this video, we'll show you how to line up your palette, put your yoga pants on, show you how to line up the screen, as well as mix the silicone ink. So the first trick is, gotta have a palette, preferably a sleeve palette. Now when printing on yoga pants, you can print a logo anywhere on this thing. It's gonna look really nice on the side of the legs, the bottom of the legs, the front of the knee. You can really print on yoga pants anywhere, versus the book bag we printed yesterday, or in the previous video, you only had one section you could print on. So the yoga pants, we're gonna print on the left side. Looks good on me though, doesn't it? Print on the left side of the leg. Again, it's important to have a sleeve palette. This video series, these 9 different video series, we're going to use different palettes. We're not using standard palettes. So what we're trying to stress to screen printers, you need other palettes in your shop other than just your standard t-shirt or hoodie palette. Nonetheless, to get our placement of this logo, we're going to slide our yoga pants on. Again, I'm printing on the left leg of this yoga pant, and we're going to slide this on. And the trick here is the artwork placement. So the trick that we're going to teach you guys is load the garment on, set your piece of artwork on top of that garment with tape with the sticky side pointed up, so that when you bring your screen around, you'll have the exact placement that you want when you go to screen room. So again, we've lined up our artwork on this leg. We're going to pull this screen down. We're going to push it flush against the palette. Rub our hands against it so that the artwork comes up on the screen. As you can see here, that's going to be our placement. So that when you go to screen room and you coat this screen, before you take this off, make sure to measure your dimensions from the top of the screen to your registration mark so you have the exact dimensions on the screen. This is a nice trick for you guys, especially with oddball items that we're printing. So follow me to the screen room and we'll coat screens, burn it, we'll come back, teach you guys how to mix silicone ink. So from press to screen room, you can see where we brought our screen in. Doesn't have any emulsion, which we have to now put emulsion on the screen, but you want to make sure that you get the exact dimensions down from the top to the bottom. We're right about 7 inches on the registration mark. And because this is a one color on the yoga pants, we're clearly going to be in the center of the screen. So I know that this 23 or 31, the center is going to be 11.5 clearly, so I don't have to measure that. The main thing is from the top to the bottom is 7 inches down. So we'll take the artwork from here, coat our screen, and then burn it. All right, so while our screen is drying, we're gonna go ahead and mix our silicone ink. So silicone ink comes, Texsource sells it in two different ways. You have an RFU white or ready for use white and a ready for use black. You have to mix a catalyst to these RFU white and black colors for it to adhere to the garment. If you want to print other than white and black, you will have to buy an entire mixing system. So what Texsource has done is made a simple white and black ready for use kit for our printers. So what we do is we're going to mix 3 to 5% of the catalyst by the total weight of how much we want to use. And you want to mix the exact amount of ink that you want to use because this has a shelf life for about 4 to 8 hours, 8 hours max. Some people say they can put it in the refrigerator and the silicone ink will last longer, but you truly really have between 4 and 8 hours to use this once it's mixed. So we're going to take our white ink here and put it on our scale. This scale is pretty good, by the way. It's a cheapo scale, and we use batteries with it, so it's really good and mobile. It's a pretty good little tip. Weigh our bucket. We'll tare that. And so we're not going to mix a lot because we're only going to be printing one garment for this video. This ink it's a decently thin ink. It's not like a typical white plastisol where it's a little bit thicker. It's got a little bit of a thinner consistency, not like water-based, but it's pretty good. So we're going to mix just a tiny bit of this white. Let's try and get 100 grams just to make this. I don't think I'll be exactly. There's 75, so we're going to mix 75 grams of the RFU silicone white, which this white is ready for use, but you still have to add the catalyst for it to be activated or glued to the garment. So we have 75 grams, so the mixing ratio is 3 to 5% of the catalyst by weight. So we have 75 grams. Let's do the middle ground of 4%. So 75 grams times 0.04 gives us 3 grams of catalyst. Make sure you tare and clear out the weight. So 3 grams of this catalyst. Now this catalyst is pretty liquidous, so it's going to pour out pretty fast. So you want to make sure and be mindful of how much you're pouring. So this catalyst, if you can see, it's going to come out pretty quick. So that's 2 grams. That was pretty quick. And that shot me to 5 grams. So a good way to practice when mixing this is choose the middle ground between 3 to 5, because if you overshoot, you have a little bit of variance. So because I did 4%, doing 5 grams of the catalyst is not going to hurt us. Next thing you do, just mix it up really nice. Again, this ink will last, once the catalyst is mixed, 4 to 8 hours. We have heard some screen printers will put this in the refrigerator and it will last longer, but you'll never exceed a certain life point on this mixture. All right, so now that is mixed, we'll grab our screen and we'll line up and print. All right, so we're back on press. A quick recap, we're printing on yoga pants. These are very stretchy pants, which is the reason why we're going to be printing with the silicone ink that we mixed. Silicone ink is perfect for this job because, like I said previously in the video, you can stretch the heck out of these pants, and that ink, that image will not distort once it comes back into place. Silicone ink is made strictly for polyesters or smooth surfaces. If you try and use polyester on garments or 100% cottons or garments that have a lot of texture in them, the silicone ink is not going to look good at all. Silicone ink is made specifically for smooth textures. If you try and print the silicone on something else, that silicone is going to take on the shape or the form of that garment because it does not have great fiber mat down. Again, that's why it's good on smooth garments. So we're going to go to press, we're going to line up our screens, and we're going to print some yoga pants. So we're gonna slide on our pants. We have a line drawn on this pallet to where we're gonna stop. So before we do that, we wanna make sure our logo is lined up in the center of the pallet. Pull this down. Off contact is important, just like with any print. This is a simple lineup. This is a one color. Make sure you're in the center of the pallet and keep rolling. So just like most garments you print, always do a test print. Don't try and just go straight to printing your garment. It's always best practice to do a test print before you use your good garments. So we're gonna test print this shirt, and we're gonna print this Worthy logo on the back of it. Now this is gonna be a print flash print. So we're using a flash adhesive. That cleared nice. That went straight through. It's pretty good. So just like white ink, you have to print flash print to get it nice and opaque. So we'll do a quick flash here. So as a quick test print, like I said, you always want to make sure everything is lined up correctly. We're going to load our yoga pants now. What's important about when adding your garments that are polyester is make sure there is no creases. Also, if there's any lint on the pallet tape and it shows through the garment, that silicone ink will take the shape of that lint that is on the pallet. So make sure you have a nice clean pallet when printing with silicone ink. So we got our yoga pants down. This will be a print flash print. The silicone ink is really easy to print. It flows through the screen super easy. But because it is white ink on a dark garment, you got to print flash print it. So there's my print. Rotate the garment. Again, silicone ink is really great for polyester garments for the great stretchability, the quick cure, fast flashing ink. Print, flash, print. This is a flood, one hit with the white. Now if we were printing black silicone, it wouldn't be a print flash print. You would just have one hit and straight to the dryer because this ink flows through the screen super easy, super nice. This is a 110 mesh, so it's allowing a little bit more for the ink to pass through easily as well. Another quick tip, when printing on polyesters, especially these one-offs or 10 or 12 garments and yoga pants, if I try to pull these pants off, it could possibly get stuck on the pallet because of the glue that's on there. I always like to flash after my second hit, especially with silicone ink, because I don't want this garment to get wrapped up around itself when I go to dryer. That's just a quick, easy tip to make sure you guys do it properly. I'm not going to flash it as long as the first time. I just want to get a quick dry so I can pull it off easily without any worry of the garment sticking to each other. There's our print. We'll send this sucker through the dryer. Now we're going through the dryer about 60 seconds, 270 degrees at 60 seconds is the optimal cure time when printing with silicone inks. Here's our final product. Silicone ink, low cure, cures at 270, 60 seconds. That's what makes it great when printing on polyesters, because of the dye migration, all the issues you have with typical polyesters. That's why a lot of people try and print with silicone ink. Here's our final product with the silicone print. Again, this cures at 270 degrees, which is what is great when printing on polyester. Another great thing with silicone inks is the hand feel of that print afterwards. You really have this almost like a rubbery kind of texture feel to this print once it's dry. And it's a really cool feeling. I mean, it's a really nice, it's not like a center plastisol where you have that hand feel, that plastic feel. Vice versa, water-based, you can't feel it at all because it's the actual shirt. Silicone actually feels a little more of a softer, and I call it a little more of a rubbery texture, but it's a really nice feel. Here's our final print on yoga pants. Another oddball print in our 10 video series that we're doing. Might even do 15 videos. We might have a bunch of these that we're doing because we're finding out that a lot of our customers like printing these oddball items, but they don't have all the details and all the facts on how to print them. So that's why we're doing this series. So video number 2, come see what's next. Thank you.